to be spit out. They don't. You know, I was thinking about alcoholism, and I've been reading a big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, and I was replacing all of the alcoholic terms with shit related to technology, and the shoe still fucking fits. Isn't that funny? There's this part where it talks about how, like, to the alcoholic, their life is normal. You know, I think that's kind of the issue that I had with that, because, like, I always knew that I wasn't a normal person, and I think that a lot of people I've met in there, it's like, if they're crazy, it's because of their addiction problems. I think that addiction can make you crazy. I think that people can be delusional about anything. I put this on a whiteboard recently about how, like, people can get really sick based off of a false idea of a person, place, or thing, and what that person, place, or thing does for them. And as we've seen with politics, there's this strong tendency that people have to gravitate towards identity. And I think with things like addiction, I felt more like an alcoholic when I was in recovery. Like, when I was a drunk, I was just drunk, you know? I didn't think I was special because I was drunk. I don't really understand that. I think that's the main qualm I have. It's like, dude, like, drinking all the time just makes sense, you know? And so, I don't know, overindulging in something that allows you an escape from this shit world, yeah, that makes sense. I do think that it is an obsession. But I think that happens with a lot of stuff. Like, you can obsess about anything that you think turns you into something that you'd rather be, you know? And that's why people are so crazy when it comes to their political views, or their race, or their gender, or whatever it is. People are so obsessive with some idea of who they are based off of this thing, or based on where they live, or their race, or their history, their family history, their mental illness. And now I'm seeing with all these comedians, like, I know I've mentioned this before, but it's just so annoying. All these fucking white comedians that have something wrong with them. Like, some sort of physical thing going on. And it's not just autism or whatever. It's like, there's some Canadian bitch with one leg. She's funny. She does that girl comedy I talk about. Like, her comedy's cute. I mean, at least she doesn't talk about sex. I'll give her that. But yeah, she doesn't have arms either. I forget like what the thing is that she has. It's some sort of deformity or whatever. But I'm not making fun of her for that. But it's like I've just noticed this dramatic spike of white comedians only. There's no other race where they're like capitalizing on some physical ailment that they have. But it's because it's not okay for a white person to be white. Like we don't have that, marginalization. So I think that's why this is happening, where there are like all these white people trying to be funny, talking about something else that makes them marginalized, since it can't be race. But yeah, I don't know. There's this girl that I do stand up with, where I've done stand up with her. I don't really see her around anymore because she's actually making it. She's funny. She's legit funny, but like she's in a wheelchair because she's got Friedrich's ataxia. But yeah, it's like after she was on Kill Tony, and she made a name for herself on Kill Tony, but then I just started to notice like all these white comedians coming forward that have something wrong with them. And the thing is, like, I would never do that with schizophrenia, mainly because I don't want to. I really don't want to be like the face of schizophrenia. I don't want to be like the schizo spokesperson, I think there'd be so many people that have an issue with that anyway, considering the fact that I don't believe in medication. But like, yeah, there are so many comedians that talk about being depressed and anxious and everything, and they're all medicated. And it's like, whatever. I'm not trying to like come down on people for their medical decisions, but it's like, it's just so depressing to me that people like don't believe in the DIY approach. And they will regret it. They will regret it because those side effects are no joke. So whenever they start to experience worse side effects from medication, and if they try to get off of it and they go into protracted withdrawal, it's going to be so much worse for them than whatever they think their mental illness is doing to them, But anyway, I bring that up a lot because it is something I'm passionate about, because this country, my country, the country of the United States of dumbfuck, we do not believe in solutions, okay? People just constantly whine about problems and they expect other people to solve them, and like, you can't expect people to solve problems. Like, you're the one that has to solve the problems. I just don't get that. I don't get trusting anybody to do that. But I just really, really hate authority. And it's not just authority like the people in power. It's like the authority of society, the authority of like what the world wants, the authority of what's popular, And fuck this person's rights. Look at that shit. Just look at it. You don't want to look at it, but you have to.